YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Chad Too Clean, man. I'm gonna show y'all one of these too clean fades that I'm getting off. So I'm gonna go straight in with the ergos today. It's a little bit unusual for me because typically I'm more of a wall guy, or I'll be using Babyliss a lot. But man, I'm really digging these ergos. I don't know if it's the design, the way that they kind of like fall out of your hand. Like they're very, the shape is very, very, very interesting. I think it kind of takes a little bit of pressure off your wrist just when you're fading. So for me, it always depends on the haircut, but for this haircut in particular, I decided to go straight in with the ergos just to put my guideline in. I don't want to put it in with the trimmer just because this particular client's hair is very coarse and it'll just leave me a line there that's going to be very difficult to get out later. So I put that initial guideline in just with a clipper. As you can see, I like to scoop whenever I'm implementing the gradient just to give myself a better look on the fade. That C-scoop is very critical. So you'll notice something I do right around the temple regions is I'll actually completely open the blade because I don't want to take away from the lineup. So like even though I'm giving him a fade here, I'm going to go ahead and open up that blade just to make sure that I can give him a nice C-hook when I finish the haircut later. So you always got to be thinking ahead on your haircut. You got to think, like every move that I make and every cut that I make, is it gonna hurt me or is it gonna help me later on when I'm trying to finish this haircut? You gotta be thinking like that, and after a while it'll become second nature. So right here I'm doing a little bit of clipper over comb, just to take some of the bulk out without switching over to a guard. I'm all about saving time and being efficient, so it's like, what can I do with the same exact tools in my hand right now that will pretty much speed up my process, and I'm not gonna have to turn around or grab a guard. As you can see, man, I don't know if you guys have been following my page for a while, but this is definitely you're starting to see the evolution of the way I cut hair. Like we all should be growing over time. You shouldn't just stay the same. You should think about how can I speed up my fades. How can I provide more detail? How can I provide more gradient? There's so many ways to make your game better, and there's still things that I'm learning as I go. And now I'm gonna go ahead and ball that out like I was telling you earlier. So I'll typically use a graphite blade here because it's a lot better on coarse hair and skin. As you can see, it gets straight bald. I don't really even have to go back over with a shaver. I mean, this particular trimmer I modified specifically for this purpose, just to bald out the bottom of my fades and just speed up my process here, so I'm not coming back over 2 and 3 times trying to get this bald. From here I'm going to go straight in with my Andis Masters that I outfitted with the fade fat blade. So this particular fat blade goes from, I believe, I think it's like a 1A up to a 2. So it's actually a very, very efficient blade, and then you see me using it in this particular situation really speeds up my fade. I don't have to try to grab a 2 guard and a 1.5 and a 1. I can pretty much just go straight in from bald to bulk and give myself a nice gradient that I can just clean up very, very lightly later. So from here, you can see my client's got quite a bit of hair on his head. I'm just asking him, how much does he want to take off? And he's telling me basically like he can take a good amount off, but he still wants to keep his curls. So I'm gonna go ahead in straight dry cutting. I don't really wet the hair here just because I want to see how it actually lays. As you can see, I'm going with a little bit of shear over comb, and I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not even necessarily doing any sectioning or any parting. I'm just looking at the overall shape of my client's hair. I've been cutting them for a while now, so I can just tell based off the shape of how it's laying that when I go ahead and twist it up with a twisted up comb or a sponge or whatever you might use in the shop, it'll give them that nice curly look that's very evenly distributed. As you can see, I just worked my way all the way to the back. You got to be careful here because if you cut it down too low, when you go to twist it, the curls won't hold. So you want to just give it a nice shape that's going to look natural and it's going to look like, a very good shape with the curls. So in the front there, he's got a little bit of extra, so I just took that off. From here, I'll do a little freehanding just around the actual sides of his haircut, just to give him a nice even gradient, from the cut that I'm making on the top. I always tease my client and tell him he looks like Johnny Bravo because this is literally what his hair looks like before you twist it. So from here, I went ahead and took my client to the shampoo bowl, gave him a good outline. As you can see, I'm going right in with the razor. Um, just trying to make sure I get the very, very top of his beard lined up without taking it too low. You don't want to make it to where you're cutting down your client's beard, because all that's going to do is it's going to cause ingrown hairs, and it's going to cause problems later when he goes to grow it back. So that was just like an initial guideline there. You can see that fade's coming out real icy. Um, this is just all razor work here, guys. As you can see, I'm stretching the skin, giving myself a nice 45-degree angle on the blend. And I'm really fading, I'm really taking that razor line all the way up to the fade. You want to make sure that that gradient is in there. You want to make sure that everything's hitting, and just give your client the best possible work you can give them. So right now I'm just, detailing my work over now. So really hitting those corners, hitting those boxes with the razor, and just giving my client a very, very nice defined edge. As you can see, this haircut's looking real clean. I didn't use any enhancements, no barber pencil or anything. I just use my raw clippers, my raw shears, my raw razors, and this is what I come out with. Now, can I dress this client up, dress this haircut up with some color? Of course, but you got to ask your client, is that what they want? You don't want to just start going in with color on everybody, because, you start to give a false impression on your page that, everybody has this haircut, everybody has this look. I'm just very cognizant of that before I go placing color on all my clients, because it's like, is it necessary? No, I don't think it is. I think the average person that wears their haircut out doesn't want color in their hair. They want to have a nice natural haircut that's going to last them 2 to 3 weeks. They don't want to have color in their hair and make themselves feel like, oh, if I wash my hair, my haircut's going to wash off too. So just be aware of that. Like I definitely encourage the use and the ability to use color, because I do, and I will in future videos. But I try to really work on my hand, man. I want to get as sharp as I can without adding any additives. Like this haircut fresh, no additives. Always appreciate y'all tapping in with your boy Chad Too Clean, man. We got more haircut tutorials, product reviews in the way. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Let's get it.